This goes out to Michael Forbis and the rest of anybody in Brookings that has a problem with anything that I said I said that a lot of Brookings act on Facebook as they're classist and elitist and called them scum. Because anybody that acts classist and elitist is scum to me. You can not like this all you want, but that's the reality. Michael, I don't know if you've followed much along on any post on any of the community Facebook pages that deal with Brookings. Have you seen how the unhoused are treated? Have you ever been unhoused yourself, Michael? I have. Recently, here in Brookings. I know how they're treated. I know how people look down on them. I know how vulgar, disgusting displays from people who call themselves Christians and then go on every post that they can and blame everything on the unhoused. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of blame to go there. Not everything, though. Then, let's take a look at it, Mike. You've said you've been here 30 years. Good for you. Did you know that 68% of the homeless people in Brookings are Brookings natives? They are. So when you start pointing those fingers, just know that 4 point back at you, Mike. Don't sit here and fucking throw shade at me and tell me, that I don't know anything because I've only been here 2 years and blah, blah, blah. I'm doing shit, Mike. What are you doing? You're bitching at me on Facebook, trying to do a good thing. Now, if I offended a couple people and ruffled a couple feathers, maybe I needed to. Maybe I need to ruffle your feathers. How about I don't need your approval nor validation to do what I'm doing? I don't need your donations. It doesn't go to me. It goes to help your community that you've been here 30 years. When I asked for your resume, I meant your resume of what have you done in this community. I've been here 2 years. I volunteer for civic organizations. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to put their name out here. What do you volunteer for? What do you spend your free time on to try to improve in your community, Michael? What do you? Before you come sideways at me talking a bunch of horse shit. Why don't you make sure your camp's in clean order, man? I'm out here trying to do something for the community, and you've got nothing to do but bust my balls. What the hell's the matter with you, man? You are the exact problem. You are the exact one I was speaking to. And you know what? I just held up a mirror, man. And you got to see everything ugly it is about you, man. So you can take that for however you want, Michael. And I tell you what, your little veiled threats, man, don't work with me. Because we can handle this however you want. I'm out here trying to do a good thing, man. Trying to get the community's support. You know, you sat there and said, oh, $50,000, you can't do it. I tell you what, I put my money where my mouth is. I will put up $50,000 in collateral against your $50,000 cash. You give me 1 year and that $50,000, and I'll bet you that I at least make a drastic reduction on the homeless problem here in Brookings. I bet you that I have a foundation and a building block to do something to keep going in the future. Will I have all of the infrastructure and everything that I need? No. But if you took the time to look at the program that I'm presenting, you'd see that it's a phased program. I don't expect for $50,000 to be able to build a community a kitchen where people can cook their food. No. They're homeless. They live in tents. They know how to cook their own food. When the tiny houses get built after 6 months of being in the program, they'll be able to have a dorm fridge in their tiny house. And eventually we will build a community kitchen where they can go in there and cook their food. Sit down and eat their food with each other. Then we're going to have a little entertainment, recreation area where they can sit down and watch some TV. But they'll be able to put a little TV in their tiny house as well. All the tiny houses will be spec'd the same. Nobody's tiny house will be better than the next. They'll all comprise of a living quarters, a little love seat, and a desk. A little dorm refrigerator. If they want to put a TV up, within reason, sure, that's on them. I'm trying to take care of the basic human needs here, and that's shelter. I can do this with $50,000. Beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt, I can buy a piece of property and I can buy a shuttle bus for $4,500. I have the program, Michael. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours researching this. Tiny house villages all over this country and the world. Checked a couple in Belgium, some Venezuela. Seeing what people are doing right, what they're doing wrong. And then I scaled it to Brookings. See, Michael, I don't just jump on some Facebook posts and just act ill and come out sideways at people. Why don't you go and see how the unhoused are treated? Why don't you yourself, for a weekend, be the unhoused? Why don't you give up all your stuff for a weekend? Why don't you see what they go through? No, people like you don't want to do that, though. You just want to sit there and you want to bitch at me. But you got mad about some words. Because they pissed you off. I'm glad. Good. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with your veiled threats? Nothing. Not a damn thing. You're going to sit there on your computer and bitch. You can't even get behind somebody who's actually doing something. And you resent that I am. What's wrong with you, man? I don't know. Anyways, Brookings, I'm out here. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to do a good thing. Doing this all on my own dime and my own time. Not a penny of this is going to me. I'm just fine. I was unhoused. But I'm educated. I'm able to do some things and to improve my situation. But while I was there, I made a vow that I'd reach back and I'd get them. And I'm gonna. Mark my words. I've been doing it for 2 years now. Michael Forbis or any of the rest of you ain't gonna stop me. You've done run me off the road in your big trucks. You've threatened to make me crab bait. You've assaulted me. You threatened me. What are you gonna do, Michael? They weren't able to run me off. Ain't none of y'all gonna be able to run me off. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. You better either get on board or get the fuck out my way. You have a great evening.